Dr. Hanafi, we were talking about the trade between EU and Lebanon and in generally to the Arab region. Is it about trade agreements, quality, cost? What are the topics there? What do you think about it?
Of course, I agree with Mr. Lytle for what he mentioned, and I insist again and again and again on openness. But trade agreements and openness by agreements is not the only way, because the trade agreement is just to open the door. But when you open the door, you cannot guarantee the flow of goods. So what we need to do is to do something more, not just signing agreement or trade agreement or cooperation agreement or partnership agreements. We already have all these ones. We need to have carriers for the agreements. You can, as they say, you can drag the horse to the tide, but you cannot force him to drink. What we need here is to make him drink. So we need more cooperation again, and cooperation in logistics and supply chain will make the trade and goods move easily from one side to the other side. We need more effort in the logistics side, in the trade, in the trade facilitation in terms of having investment in transportation, which will lead to minimization of the cost of logistics in this area is more than 30%. So this will make goods more competitive, whether goods come from the European side or come from the Arab side. The goods need to have a more competitive edge. And the idea is not to have the Lebanese market open for the European goods. This is good. But what we need to do is to make the Lebanese market is a hub for the European good to penetrate other markets in the Arab region and in Africa. So we need the Arab world not to act as a market only, but to be partially a market and to be a hub for Africa. By doing this strategic alliance, it will be a win-win, and everybody will benefit, because actually the European producers are facing competition, not in terms of going to markets, but in terms of having some other competitors in the world being able to supply the goods at relatively lower cost. So if we join forces and cooperate, we can not only guarantee our markets to be open for each others, but we can target third markets in different places around the globe. So to be very clear, we need openness, yes. We need cooperation in logistics and supply chain and transportation. We need to switch from just simple trade agreement to strategic alliances.
May I give direct an answer to Mr. Hanafi? Yes, you're right. Free trade agreements can only open the doors, not more. You mentioned the reduce of duties, of technical barriers, and yes, that's opening the door. But then you have to pick up the opportunities in the new market. And you can be accompanied by the chambers. We in Austria, for example, have regularly exchange, and the Austrian Arabic Chamber does it either, with the Arabic countries to point out the possibilities, the opportunities. And then the horses will drink if they are aware of the opportunities. But anyway, you mentioned another very, very interesting thing. You mentioned Africa. And I think Africa is close to the Arabic countries and close to the European Union. And together, we should do something in a kind of creating a sustainable partnership to Africa, because this continent is bearing the greatest problems, in my view, for the future. And therefore, we have to work on that. Only a reliable partnership will give opportunities instead of threats. Migration, asylums, and. You know what I'm meaning. We have to bear responsibility also to this continent and to use the opportunities in this continent.
Thank you very much, Dr. Leitl. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the conclusion. During our webinar, a lot of words, very important words arose. Hope, openness, confidence, trust, and maybe solidarity belongs to this. We are witnessing now change of paradigms. The terminology national security became another meaning. It's not only about military national security, it's not only about energy and food safety. Medical research, medication, supply chain of the medicine is become a major part of the national security. And this is very important to take into consideration and also to support this sector. It is a challenge for all of us, and especially also for the chambers, to report, to inform our members and the business community, the private sector, about the new opportunities, the new actors on the economic scene. We will have a possibility. Every crisis could be a chance and opportunity. Please be informed that we will record all this webinar and we will put it on our webpage and also the webpage of the Union of Arab Chambers. Let me thanks the participants, especially panelists, about their valuable input, but also our esteemed audience who followed us, were with us today, and hope to see you soon. All the best. Assalamu alaikum. Auf Wiedersehen.
Thank you.